Big event with MLW, the War Games, and it's going to be at the War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale, Thursday, September 6th. Tommy Dreamer, you're going to be joining John Hennigan. You're also going to be joining Barrington Hughes, a big man, Shane Strickland, Kotto Brazil. You're going to face Callihan's Ravagers, Sami Callihan, Jimmy Havoc, who obviously you're working with, the Death Machines, and the Monster Abyss, another from Impact Wrestling in this special War Games matchup. Tell us about the talent that's in there, and that's just MLW. This is your first time you're debuting, but what's that talent like just in that match?
I've watched Shane Strickland grow from a regular indie guy who was just, I didn't think would make it, but had heart and desire and totally turned his stuff around, and he's amazing in the ring. John Morrison, I've wrestled a million times. I have a long history with them. And then, across from us, Sami Callihan has really, really blown up and took off. The Monster Abyss, him and I are no strangers. And Jimmy Havoc, another guy, if you talk about the boom of professional wrestling, he made a name for himself being, hardcore in the UK. I've wrestled him before, and all those guys, Abyss was supposed to be this big monster surprise. Everybody in that match, I'm in my element. I'm back with my people, and everyone in that match needs to worry about me, because once that cage locks, I get to become the innovator of violence, and that's something that it's the most powerful drug in the world, adrenaline. And I am going to go crazy. I'm going to go insane in that, because it's something. I'm 47 years old, and I've seen the first War Games. I've seen every War Games, and now I get to be in one. I feel bad for everyone who's going to be in that ring.
Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence. MLW, this will also be TV tapings. You could see MLW 8 p.m. Eastern Fridays on beIN Sports USA. Tommy, what did you learn from Paul Heyman?
Everything. Here, a lot of people, if you understand why I am the way I am, it's because of everything that I've lost. I also learned from my own failures, my own mistakes, which a lot of people, especially in wrestling, don't want to admit. And I've always learned from my peers, being a student of the game. When I would walk back through that curtain, I would have Paul Heyman helping me. I would have Terry Funk helping me. I would have Mick Foley helping me. I would have Kevin Sullivan helping me. How did I not get better? A lot of these guys on independent level, or a lot of these guys they just kind of look to each other, and you're not going to learn. And I always say, if you are a minor league player, wouldn't you want to take the advice from somebody in the major leagues? Because if not, you're going to remain in the minors. And I love seeing the growth of wrestling companies like MLW. I love seeing the growth of wrestlers like Shane Strickland, Sami Callihan. And I'm going to keep on giving everything that I have until I don't have it anymore. And then I could just hope in the ring, and then, I hopefully could just keep on passing my knowledge with my mind.
And in passing that knowledge, you're working with Impact Wrestling. What things are you doing there behind the scenes, and what has it been like for you you've been involved behind the scenes before, but what has it been like for you doing that realm of the business?
I love it. I have my own wrestling company called House of Hardcore. We've been doing really, really well. We're growing. MLW is growing. Behind the scenes, I'm working with Impact, and I'm also in front of the camera. I grew up during the territory system, where I could turn the channel and see World-Class Championship Wrestling, Florida Championship Wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling, WWF, AWA, World-Class, you name it, I got to see it. Now, really, there's only, WWE is the main place, but guess what? There's a lot of other places that you're able now to see an alternative, and I want to just keep on showing an alternative. And I like variety, and I will support MLW. I'll support Impact. I'll support my own company. I'll support Ring of Honor. I will support New Japan. because it's an amazing wave in professional wrestling, because it proves that fans just want to see something different, you know. And this past weekend was SummerSlam. I live in New York. It was an amazing weekend for wrestling fans. But, you know, there was a boatload of Young Bucks T-shirts. There was New Japan T-shirts. They were everywhere. I was just landed from the airport. When I was in the airport in New York this morning, there were so many wrestling fans T-shirts. And if you look at everyone who's in the WWE, they all basically started in smaller companies. And for me, I loved being in my smaller company. If my smaller company, known as ECW, was still around, I would still be there.
You mentioned House of Hardcore, and then you are going to be here at Fort Lauderdale War Memorial Auditorium for MLW, Major League Wrestling. When you're able to do that and you're at other shows, do you have any time to even scout talent?
I know pretty much everybody there. There's no one out there who's new to me. That was also kind of my job when I worked behind the scenes in WWE. And, you know, now with social media, you can find out anything about people. When they tell me who my partners are or they tell me who my opponents are, I just, you know, type in their name and I'll watch them. I'll watch them on YouTube, and then I'll be like, oh, that guy's got it. Or if I'm at a show and I see somebody that catches my eye, and there's a lot of guys. Shane Strickland is 100% one of them, and he's always asked the right questions, and I'm a big fan of Shane Strickland.
All right, we'll wrap this up. MLW, Thursday, September 6th at the War Memorial Auditorium for War Games. What better place to have War Games than at the War Memorial Auditorium? Tommy, I'll end it with this. So, Impractical Joker's Q, would he make it as a wrestler?
You know, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I think the two most things I'm going to go down for are eating the Undertaker's shoe and pulling down Q's pants. Within the Impractical Joker family, they say I have the two best punishments ever. And no, Q would not make it as a wrestler. But he did take a good ass kicking. And he's lucky I let him out alive.
That's it. Q and Sal are like two of the biggest wrestling fans. They're always involved. They're doing something, trying to do something with wrestling and all. What was that? But you mentioned that, though, what you're known for, like two of the things you're known for. But how was that for you? How much fun did you have doing their show a couple of times?
If you want to talk about, we were just kind of talking about going from indies to television and all sort of that stuff. They were all four friends that used to make fun of each other, grew up with each other, and then, you know, a lot of their times when they were on TV, they were paying for that themselves, and now they sell out Madison Square Garden. Now their shows sell out a lot of places. They paid their dues as well, and I couldn't be happier for those guys, because not only are they great wrestling fans, but they're also great guys.
Well, Tommy Dreamer, well said, and thank you so much. We all look forward to seeing you down in Fort Lauderdale once again at the War Memorial Auditorium. Thank you.
No problem. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. When you go back in your life, and like I said, I'm 47, you have a lot of reflection a lot of times, and it's not Groundhog's Day. I choose to be here. I can pick what I want to do. No one tells me I have to be anywhere. And I chose to be here, and I chose to be in MLW, and I chose to be in War Games. It means just as much to me as it does to the fans in attendance, and I can't wait to become Tommy Dreamer again one night.